Yo, what's going on? A+'s Nerd Mixes out there. It is your boy, Indy Uchiha. Man, I need like a lineup on my beard. Man, look at this. I came home from lunch just to go ahead and hit this review for Hawkeye episode 5, Ronin. We got so much epicness happened this week between episode 5 of Hawkeye. We got Spider-Man No Way Home. We got The Witcher returning. We got friggin' Matrix next week right before Christmas. I mean, it's so much going on that I know my nerd and geek fandom is just, I know all of you A+'s out there are just going nuts about all this we get to see. I am incredibly grateful that we get to experience this because we didn't have stuff like this when we were younger. You know what I'm saying? So it's super dope. But let's just go ahead and lift the top off the gift we got from Hawkeye. End scene. There is a picture of Kingpin that was sent to Kate Bishop, and you get Hawkeye going. When Kate goes, who is that? And Hawkeye goes, the guy I've been trying to avoid. We know we're probably getting Matt Murdock in No Way Home. To have my guy Vinny D reprise his role as Kingpin, even if it's just in a picture. I mean, they've been hinted towards who Uncle was. We saw the fat hand and heard the laugh in the flashback. Man, it's a good day to be a fan of nerd and geek pop culture, I tell you. But man, when it came to this episode, it was really dope. I mean, from the opening sequence to seeing, because this is the first time we've seen this, you know what I'm saying? It's the first time we see somebody dust from the decimation and come back instantly. Looked like she was gone for 5 seconds. Talk about Yelena. You know what I'm saying? Looked like she was gone for 5 seconds. Came back, color of the bathroom changed. Everything, man. And watching her have to deal with that in the 3-minute span that they had before they went to the opening of the show. I mean, we even got the flashback conversation to what was going on with the end of Black Widow, then going to for them to roll like the movie sequence and then come into the episode and show us this with her going to free Black Widows. And then she came up on the one girl who wasn't even under any type of, you know what I'm saying, mental crap. You feel me? She just loved doing what she do to make money because she loved living a certain lifestyle, and seeing that what the effect of the snap had on her and how she was living her life. Because when Yelena came back those 5 years later, she's married with a family and everything doesn't look as fancy anymore. But give it to the White Widow, Yelena Belova, and she was excellent in this episode. And I want to give it up to Haley Steinfeld, because every scene she in, she controls, and she was able to sit across from this other young talented actress and hold her own without even saying many lines. Haley Steinfeld is a treasure when it comes to being cast as Kate Bishop. I thought she would be good. I didn't know she would be this good. And there's a lot of people that agree with me on that weren't even into her. Like, she was cool in Bumblebee, but I didn't like the movie. It was other stuff she was in. I'm like, it's cool, but she is killing this role, man. Hawkeye and having to deal with everything he's dealing with, him going to that memorial and speaking to Natasha Romanoff and asking for her guidance or asking for her forgiveness for what he was finna do, and then calling and talking to his wife, who was like, do what you got to do to make sure we're safe and make sure you get this over with, and him donning that Ronin costume in order to confront Echo, not kill her, even though Echo was for the dumb Hawkeye, like for real, especially that she got the sword out of his hand. Echo is a monster, and only for Kate to save him, right? And then him not kill Echo, to let her go and tell her exactly how she found out about where her dad and stuff was when that went down, and that it was actually your boss that tipped me off and wanted your dad out of here. And then her realizing who was the person that wasn't at the meeting. How you gonna be like the second in command and not show up to a meeting that important? So he had to be the person that tipped Ronin off, Clint Barton off, in order to off her dad. So while we're getting the setup for what the Echo series is going to be about, you know what I'm saying? We're getting closure in everything that's going on with Clint Barton, and it's totally amazing to me and how that's going. Um, Kate Bishop came to the realization of telling her mom what was going on after everything that happened in the previous episode with Clint saying, "I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want you around." And her mom looked into her fiance and ended up getting him arrested. But if you ask me, I'm thinking that the mom is using him in order to have the front company, in order to move stuff for Kingpin and do everything she is with her company. Because come to find out, when Yelena did some digging, it was her mom was the one who hired the hit on Clint Barton. Crazy, right? So I'm starting to think, when it comes to her mom, that her mom's the one who actually killed her fiance's uncle, and that's why you see them arguing in the room and don't hear what they're saying, with Kate overheard. And because he knew what she was up to when he found out what was going on, so she had to have him off and then framed her fiance. I don't think she want to be with that dude. I think it was something that would help her along in what she was doing, and that's why she was even doing it. So I wonder what Kate's gonna be like when she finds out that her mom is one of the bad guys, and how she handles that is gonna be pretty interesting to me, or how Clint helps work her through that. Uh, they got the new costume dropped off at the firefighter's house, except we didn't get to see him because he didn't want to see him. So of course we're probably not gonna see those till episode 6. But I'm really wondering what that's gonna look like. I wonder if we have a, without the friggin' pointy H Hawk headpiece. I wonder if we're gonna have a more comic accurate costume for the both of them. So I'm curious what they're gonna see, if it's gonna be matching costumes for them, one in purple, one in black, or one in a different kind of purple or whatever. I'm curious to see what that's gonna look like when they get those. Um, the best part, of course, was the girls' night with the macaroni, and how Yelena was questioning um Kate Bishop to try to see what type of person she was, to see what type of person, you know what I'm saying, Hawkeye was, to see if she was really set off on the right thing to do, because she's unsure, because she kept asking, I wonder why so many people would, you know what I'm saying, take up and call this guy a hero after all the people he killed and everything he's done. Because of course she doesn't know what happened. I really like when she dusted and came back, and the first thing she wanted to do was go see Natasha. And then that actually puts a spin on everything that happened when we're looking into everything that occurred. Because you got to think about it, Natasha saved her, sacrificed herself, not only so Clint could be with his family and everything, but it was also to save her sister. Because I'm pretty sure after she saw everybody was dust, she went searching for her sister and noticed that her sister probably got lost in the decimation too. So her sacrificing her life brought her sister back to life. And I wonder what the thought process is Yelena, when she found, when Clint actually sits down and talks to her to tell her what Natasha did. I mean, we're actually getting the eulogy or the end story for Black Widow that we should have got over the course of, you know what I'm saying, with the movies are going. You're seeing how important, because we didn't really notice how important the sacrifice she made was in Endgame. It was an important sacrifice, but it was overshadowed by the unselfish sacrifice that Tony made in order for his life to get Thanos, and though everybody was brought back from the snap that Hulk made, to get rid of the threat of half the universe being taken away again, Tony sacrificed his life in order to dust Thanos in them. But th- because everything happened so quickly, and in Endgame, and Endgame was so, you know what I'm saying, drawn out, uh the sacrifice that Black Widow made in order for the stone to be received, so that that could even happen, gets overlooked some. But when you sit back and you look into the microscope of the people that were close to her and watch what was going on, especially in this Hawkeye series, you start to see how valuable that sacrifice was. And that's really, really, really dope to me. Now, although I don't know if we'll see Kingpin in episode 6, that acknowledgement is really big. So we got our Matt Murdock, and we got our Kingpin back, which is super, super, super dope. And I just love the ground level stuff. And I'm pretty curious if, because if Matt Murdock does show up in Spider-Man, I want to see what happens in episode 6 of Hawkeye. If that had, because I think Hawkeye happens after Spider-Man No Way Home. So I want to, I think it's been confirmed that it happens after. So I really want to see if there's anything in episode 6 that says anything about what happened in Spider-Man, because I really feel the way episode 5 plays to me and the way I watch it, I feel like it's not required but recommended watch before you go see Spider-Man. So this episode was just wild in every aspect that it had, and it was probably the best episode of the season. And if you ask me, next to the the last episode of Loki, and then maybe the Scarlet Witch becoming Scarlet Witch, this episode to me is like up on that level of what happened, you know what I'm saying, so far in the MCU. So I'm looking in the MCU on Disney Plus. So I'm looking really forward to seeing what happened. And it's to the point, like I didn't I wasn't even excited for the Hawkeye series. And it's getting to the point where this is the series that I've been most excited for to watch week to week, just because of what's transpiring and because of the actors in the show and how into the characters they get every even the damn pizza dog is important. Every just feels important, man. And I cannot wait to see what happens next. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Were you geeked when you saw King? That was like the worst kept secret ever, but it still surprised me when I saw it. You know what I'm saying? Because the way they played it out, and I want to see what their reaction is to this happening afterwards. And I want to hear that call when Hawkeye calls his wife. I'm like, yep, we got the big guy. And if he calls for any help, if somebody drops in or drops by in episode 6, man, I cannot wait. They should have enough help with Yelena, Kate, and Clint. But hey, the more the merrier. You guys, let me know your theories, what you think's popping off in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, look, if you are going to see Spider-Man before Saturday, go ahead and put spiders in the comments. You know what I'm saying? If you put arrows in the comments if you're enjoying Hawkeye, like bow and arrows, and put spiders in the comments if you're super excited to see Spider-Man this weekend, and if you think they got some type of blending thing going on. All right, you guys, I'll be back soon. I'll be back next week. I think we got Batwoman getting ready to come back. You got Hawkeye right around the corner. We got a hiatus for the Flash. Go check that review that I put up yesterday for Flash. Don't want to miss. If you haven't watched Armageddon, go watch that 5-part series. It's the bee's knees, guys. The bee's knees. But Hawkeye right now to me is some of the best television that I have watched, especially on a week-to-week basis. We have a Super Crooks review coming up tomorrow. So you guys make sure you check out this channel Friday. So subscribe if you want the friggin' review on the whole season of Super Crooks. That's the animated side from the villains from Jupiter Legacy or whatever that show was called. Really great entertaining show. You have Anime Assemble Saturday. Of course, you have APlus Hero Report on Sunday. Come tune in and check out all the cool stuff we got going on. So until next time, as always, keep it A+. This has been a Nerd Mix, and I'm out of here till I see you guys again. Holla at your boy.